Welcome back to the Classic FASERIP podcast. I am your host, Vince, sitting alongside the Geoff.
Hello.
And the Rick.
Hello.
Everybody gets a the. There's no longer personalities. You're thes.
We're objects in your mind.
Yes, I'm not really here, and you're not really here either, right?
There's a reality.
Anyway, just to clear up a couple things, you can email us. AskTheDM@TheEvilDM.com is our email address. Go to ClassicFaserip.com for our website for all the things that we're doing. And, YouTube.com/@FaseRip is our YouTube channel where the podcasts go up as well, in case some people were wondering, are you going to be on YouTube? Yeah, we're there. I said it the first episode we were back.
Yeah, we're there.
We're there. No, I'm kidding. Anyway.
Wow.
Good response for the episode 5 that we were back? Yeah, episode 35. A lot of people downloaded it and commented and this and that. So we're happy that people were enjoying the show, and we appreciate that. Right, guys?
Thanks for coming back. Yes,
Yep.
Thank you for coming back.
Yep, definitely.
So I asked a couple feedback from the community to get some questions going, and I decided to make this a question, like a Q&A type podcast today, opening up the email bag, so to speak. And, it's Thanksgiving is going to be tomorrow as we're recording this. So I figured, why not have a nice little show that people can chow down on their turkey with and listen to our wonderful decisions as these questions come in. Right?
Yes.
Yep. Sounds great.
You guys are so enthusiastic.
Yay.
Anyway.
Yes, of course. We're always
Hooray.
happy to be back. Sorry, I was looking up something real quick.
Okay, so we're going to go head back into the question bag here. Well, we're going to head into the question bag, not back into it. So we're going to dust it off and pull out the first question here. I got this question from Flargon. I think that's how it was pronounced. And he said, I'm going to start a cowboy-based FASERIP campaign and wondered about horseback riding. Now, we do have an official supplement. Well, I shouldn't say official, but unofficial supplement to look at. Thanks to Captain Frost, who pointed it out on the Discord server. It was done by former co-host Keith. May he rest in peace. He passed away this year earlier. And very good guy. We miss him greatly. Was a very good host of the show. Very enthusiastic about FASERIP. So, go ahead and check out in the files. It is MA8 Marvel Western Sourcebook. And there is a whole section on page 3 that continues talking about transportation in the Old West. It goes over various horses, like a quarter horse, a pony, a mule, and even a cavalry horse, draft horse, and even a stagecoach, if you want to use that. And it goes over various ways you can do transportation. And you must also have a talent that's called horsemanship. This gives you the ability to ride a horse or horse-like animal at high-speed gallops. It also includes the knowledge in the care of handling such animals. It essentially is a version of the pilot talent, but just applied to the four-legged creatures. It does not include taming a horse. That'd be animal training. So that's basically all you need for that. Now, if I was going to figure it out, if I wasn't using this supplement at all, I would have probably just made the horses like vehicles, like when we talked about last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
giving them like a movement, a control, and stuff like that. So when a player is riding the horse, you have these movement and control for when he wants to do tight turns, jumping fences, avoiding gunfire. How would you handle it, Geoff?
No, I mean, that sounds exactly right. But also, you got to consider the third party aspect where it's not just a vehicle. It's also, you could use it that way. But it's also a creature too, so it has, the ability to think, to eat, to fight. So you might want to throw a few stats in there too. Unless you're talking about wagons, then yeah, just the vehicle itself sounds pretty good.
Yeah, if you want to do those details, yeah, of course, do that, definitely.
Absolutely.
I think you could.
Yeah, Rick, go ahead.
I think you could. Stat up various kinds of horses. Whether it's a standard riding horse or a quarter horse, a wild Mustang. And just do FASERIP stats for that, and base movement off of agility with a other horse is going to be faster or have more endurance for the higher endurance, so it can go longer. I think there's different ways to handle it. I mean, trying to figure out a really simple way, you'd have to step the horses, which is, I mean, if you really
Would it?
there are options out there for animals and creatures, so that's another way to do it.
Would it be fair to say the horse would go anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour at top speed?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't even
that's
think
good.
I don't even think they get up to 40. So yeah, that'd be pretty
Yeah,
simple.
so that's probably like a typical or maybe good when it comes to like land speed. That's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah, that
that
sounds
makes
good.
sense to me. But I mean, just because you're talking about horses, I'm guessing you're talking about a cowboy-based FASERIP campaign. And you talk about horses. Don't also forget. It depends on the era. You could also have boats and boats and trains too.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, but this question was just narrowed into horseback riding. That's why I was
I'll just
sticking. Yeah,
okay.
that's why I was just sticking to that. But yeah, you bring
Okay.
up
I
a good
mean,
point. There's wagons and trains and everything, and that is in that Western supplement too. They have locomotion and stuff in there as well. But I figured that that individual can grab that supplement and go to town with that when running his campaign for a cowboy-based FASERIP campaign. So yeah, it's fun to find these little tweaks and stuff like that. Like I was writing up a whole FASERIP Star Wars for a little solo game I was going to do, and I finished it. And I gave it to the infamous Captain Frost to take a look at. So he's eyeing it as we speak right at this moment.
excellent.
That's
That
an
sounds like a fun
intriguing.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's go on to the next question. Esper Ranger, he wants to know how about a fun brainstorming episode where you plan some holiday one shots? It's funny that this question came up because just today I did a whole episode on my solo podcast, my AD&D Universe podcast, where I planned a whole one shot Turkey Day episode where the players had gone into town and the turkey was about to be cooked for the day, but then it got stolen by some evil person who wanted to ruin the festivities and ruin the parade. So there was like a whole bunch of scenes where they had to find the turkey before sundown or the festival was ruined, and they had to go around and prevent them from stopping the parade, these bad guys, and then they had to go into the kitchen and fight like a smoke elemental from ruining the kitchen and all the holiday trimmings that were there. And then finally they had to figure out, after getting some information, go into the astral plane where the turkey was and
Jeez.
and try to drag the turkey out, even though the turkey was greasy and sliding all over the place. So it's a fun time.
Yeah, when it comes to the FASERIP holiday stuff, I go back to the Marvel comics. You can go to look at Marvel or even sometimes DC comics for inspiration about I would say, more Christmassy holiday specials. They mostly consist of like gift giving or saving presents, helping people in need, or Santa Claus. I remember reading the Marvel Holiday Special from 1991, and it had a lot of good ideas in there too. One idea comes in particular about that comic book was a story about Thanos and how a young Gamora, saved his life, quote unquote. There's no, it's Thanos. You can't really have to save his life. He could do it on his own.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was you can get plenty of inspiration there. But I mean, depends on what holiday you want to, because it just says some holiday one shots. It didn't specify which holiday. It could be a thing, even a Valentine's Day special.
Yeah, it could.
Or Festivus. Festivus kind of fits with the superhero
For the rest of us,
genre rather well. Well, you have the airing of grievances. You have the wrestling,
feats of strength. Yeah.
the Festivus poll. Festivus. I would read a Festivus themed superhero comic book. I would read that.
Would you read it and then scream "Serenity Now" afterwards?
I love the comic book
For fun, yeah.
Thanos gives all his list of grievances out, and all the heroes just say "good on you," and they all sang "Kumbaya,"
And then they just walk away.
then walked away.
Yeah,
But
there's
yeah,
plenty of comics in the 80s that would give you great ideas. Geoff gave you a perfect example of one from the early 90s. So, and the one thing good about the earlier comics back then, they were all a lot of them were self-contained, so you can grab like an adventure from a comic book really easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no continuity to worry about.
Yeah, not like these days. There's so much continuity going on. It's just like, ugh.
But another good one, and I forgot about this in the comic book, is the villain falling on hard times scenario.
Like Tiny
It's
Tim type thing?
Christmas. What?
Like a Tiny Tim type thing?
Kind of, but it's instead of Tiny Tim, it's a villain, and just got out of prison, trying to reform their life, and just fell into hard times because they were known as a villain. So it's kind of hard to get a job.
Like
Can't afford presents, trying to get presents for their henchmen.
Well, in the case I read about, it was his daughter, but yes, henchman.
Wasn't there an episode of the 66 Batman that involved the Joker buying presents for his minions? If I remember correctly?
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. I just can't
Okay, I thought
remember.
there was an episode like that. He was like, "Oh, I can't buy presents, Batman." Something dumb like that.
I can't get a loan from the bank. They think I'm crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just so what about you, Rick? You have any idea of a one shot? Oh, you did Festivus. Never mind. So that was your idea. Festivus for the rest of us. That sounds great. Throwback to Seinfeld.
Well, I mean, the holidays are always a fun time. It usually involves around like snow type villains and stuff like that.
Yeah, you could do like
something we talked about last week was ice conditions on the road. I mean, that's something you can implement in your holiday game.
Yeah,
that's true. I was thinking about the fantasy game you did with Krampus.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was fun.
The Krampus Palladium Fantasy episode. Yeah,
I'm not lying. You're Krampus.
Can't prove that. All right. So moving on to the next question. Throwing toasters, he wanted to know a little bit more about how martial arts are properly used when it comes to the system itself. Now, he didn't want like a quick read through of descriptions, but he just wanted like an actual example. It's one of the things he was having a little hard time getting wrapped around his head around it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like he looked online and like everywhere, just kind of people just read through it. And I guess it didn't really click. When you just read through something, it's just like, dude, I could read it myself. So it didn't really click with him. So we're going to try to, maybe talk through it a little bit. Let's use the Thing as our superhero, and we'll use the Kingpin as the villain. Now, the Thing has the fighting ability of Incredible 40. And I'm looking at the basic revised book because that's the one I have in front of me. And the Kingpin has fighting of Remarkable 30. So, okay, with that in mind, we can look at the different martial arts. So, with martial arts A, it allows a hero or villain, in this case, whatever, to stun or slam an opponent regardless of their comparative strength and endurance. So, the Thing's strength is monstrous 75, and the Kingpin only has an excellent 20. Now, if the Kingpin was going to, say, go up and punch the Thing and try to get a good shot on him, he would still be able to slam the Thing regardless if he doesn't do damage or not. So that's the difference when he could still slam him onto the ground with a good hit or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way for an equilibrium between two combatants with various different strengths and endurances. Like you said, I can't really elaborate more on. I mean, it's a good way to keep a balance.
Another example is, and Geoff and I always laugh at this, martial arts A is like Steven Seagal sitting on a chair fighting somebody.
That is a perfect example, sir.
That is
man that has to sit down to do combat versus someone who can stand up. That's a major endurance difference.
Yeah, exactly. If you've ever seen the later Steven Seagal movies, and I'm not going to discount Steven Seagal too much, but I mean, it's like, dude, if you got to sit down to do your martial arts, just stop doing the movies with martial arts, all right, dude?
Yeah, it's time to hang up the
Definitely.
But
gi.
that's a perfect example. He is fighting against this young baddie guy that knows martial arts, and with Steven Seagal's method of I forget what his method is.
Aikido.
Aikido, thank you.
Aikido, yeah.
His Aikido method is using your opponent's strengths against them. So what he's doing is, since he's sitting in the chair, he's at a disadvantage because he's, not as endurance-like or strength-like. So he's using the other guy's abilities against him and giving himself a benefit to slam him or push him away. It's so ridiculous. If you ever catch that, go Google it or whatever on YouTube, and
It's a fun time. It's a fun time.
When we played that a while back, we laughed so hard at that.
You bring up a good point with the martial arts. They martial arts A, B, C, D, E. But if you read the description and think about how that applies, if you have knowledge of martial arts, or even if you don't, it's easy to do a little research. If you think about it in the way they're trying to emulate a martial arts movie, or with different styles of kung fu or whatnot, and there's a million of them out there, you can think about how that's going to apply to the game mechanics, and it can kind of give you a better idea how it's supposed to work. Basically, all a column shift is when you're comparing your fighting skill, and there's a discrepancy, a guy who would appear to be at a disadvantage, like the Kingpin versus the Thing, with martial arts B, he gets that column shift up a column shift, so they're on equal status, and it's easier for him to successfully attack the Thing.
Yeah. If you're using martial art, I didn't know you were going to jump to the next example. Sorry. Martial arts B, yeah, he would column if the Kingpin was trying to punch the Thing. He would get a column shift using martial arts B if he had that, for example, which I don't think he does. Actually, he does. Yeah, he does have it. So he would get a column shift in fighting, shifting him up from remarkable to incredible, being on the same ground, so to speak, as the Thing, fighting-wise. But it gives him a good chance to hit him. Better chance. Yeah.
It reminds me of a comic that came out within this decade or so, where the Hulk actually goes to Iron Fist, and actually Iron Fist teaches him to use martial arts, because he was fighting an opponent which they were on equal fighting grounds. So the Hulk couldn't really defeat this opponent. So he goes to Iron Fist, and Iron Fist teaches him kung fu, but he couldn't teach him the way of the Iron Fist. He had to teach him like basic, because of his overall bulkiness. He just had to train him with regular kung fu.
Mm-hmm.
So he trains Hulk, and Hulk goes back to that opponent, and just absolutely dominates him because of his new fighting ability, his martial arts.
Right.
It might have been the Red Hulk who he was fighting.
I think you're right. I remember I was just reading through some of that recently. I remember that particular. I thought it was kind of cool. You don't often see heroes learning a lot of new things, or going through the process of like the Hulk learning a martial art. That's something that was some good writing.
Mm-hmm. So that's a good example of martial arts B.
So anyway, the descriptions in basic versus advanced are slightly different. Advanced just points out a little bit more detail to the description versus basic just being like, yeah, just do this. Mm-hmm. So martial arts C is the next one, and you get a column shift for grappling, escaping, and dodging actions. And that's all it says in the basic revised. Just one column shift for grappling, escaping, and dodge actions. It assumes you know what to roll. When it comes to that, the advance on page 89 goes into say, it concentrates on holds and escapes. The practitioner of this form gains a +1 column shift to his strength for grappling, including damage, and a +1 to strength for escaping, and a +1 to agility for purposes of dodging. So, if the Kingpin, who is martial arts A, B, and C wanted to, for example, dodge out of the way of, say, like, I don't know, maybe the thing throws a car at him. Not that the thing would ever do that. I don't know. Would the thing throw a car at him, you think?
No, the Kingpin.
It's possible. I
Yeah.
doubt it, but I could see it happening.
But isn't that more of an evasion? And dodge is more of, fist punching, right?
I mean, you can put evasion and dodging in the same category if you really want to.
Well, mechanically they work the same. It just
Yeah, I know there's two different things for dodging and evading, but it can kind of fit into the same category in a sense. But yeah, okay. Let's go. Let's do it how it should be done. He's gonna swing at him with a car. There, that's better.
Hi, Kingpin.
it's clobbering time.
Yeah, he's gonna use the car, and the Kingpin wants to get out of the way, so he's gonna try to dodge the car using his agility. When his agility is normally a good, but since he has martial arts C, he gets a bonus to his agility for a column shift when using dodge.
Yep.
So instead of good, he would now be an excellent. And that's basically how martial arts are used when it comes to when it's talking about column shifts and martial arts E is probably the easiest one to even do.
The initiative roll.
Yeah, I mean, you just gain a
bonus.
+1 to your initiative roll. That's it. I mean, that's pretty much self-explanatory. If I roll on my D10 a 9, I get a 10. So that's all.
I have to say that we go through martial arts A, B, C, D, and E, and then they throw wrestling in there.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah.
And it's I like redundancies in games.
Mm-hmm.
Because it makes you think. I try to think about why that got put in there, and it takes me back to characters like the Thing. There was for a while there was a unlimited wrestling class in Marvel Comics, and it would show up in various character storylines, and you'd have the Thing was in wrestling for a while, and as a wrestling fan, from the early days in the 70s and 80s, I always thought about that aspect of comic books, and everybody wants to hear the heroes or see the heroes fight. This hero can beat this hero, Superman. I mean, there's a Muhammad Ali and a depowered Superman fight comic book. So everybody loves that aspect of comic books, and I think that kind of helps add a little more flavor and fluff to the martial arts. Because a guy that has wrestling, that's a 2 column shift on grappling attacks. It doesn't affect damage.
But
so
if you look at the advanced rules, there's more to it. They actually do. It's not just fluff. They actually added more to it. So the hero with this talent gains a +2 column shift when making grappling attacks, but gains no benefit in damage. But our hero with martial arts B with wrestling gets a +3 column shift to hit in a grappling attack and a +1 column shift for damage. So they went back and modified it.
I like that.
Yeah. So not everything in Advance is fluffy, but they do add some more, I guess, oomph to it. So,
well, that's what I like about, cherry picking and taking things that are useful and not necessarily. As a GM, you can be picky and keep your game as simple as you want it, but there are obvious improvements that can be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I tend to like to use the basic revised and then look at advanced if I really need some clarification or I want to add something. Like when we were playing Marvel, I had some issues with some of the things that were just kind of left up in the air when it came to descriptions. So I had to go and check the actual advanced book for clarification.
So I have a question for you guys. You both run FASERIP games. When it comes to martial arts C and wrestling, which one do you go off of, or do you just add them both?
I've just used...
Personally, I add them.
I just use basic. That's all.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean then?
Mark, so say a hero has both wrestling and martial arts C. Both have a plus. Martial arts C has a +1 CS grappling, and wrestling has a +2 CS at grappling.
Oh, I
Which one do you
understand.
use with higher?
Okay, now that you clarified that, thank you. I wasn't understand. I thought you meant which version of the text do I use. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry, I can only see one version. It's the basic.
I would probably be like Rick, just add them together. I
So you
mean,
can
Except for the
actually have a
damage,
plus
you
3
just
S
have to
to.
do the.
yeah, +3
Oh.
column shift.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I mean, when it comes to talents, let's see. Unless otherwise noted below, a talent allows the individual +1 column and a talent useful. Judge has the final say on the usefulness of the talent in the particular situation. So, with that said, the final words there, the judge has final say on usefulness of the talent in a particular situation, could say, no, this is more purely a wrestling situation. Sorry, Geoff, you can't use the martial arts C in this situation. And I'm the GM, so you can't say anything about it. So, just like
I'm
that.
using karma to use both.
Nope.
Okay, you spend the karma, but it has no effect.
Oh.
Yep. In fact, you have to use a chair when using martial arts.
Look at me, I'm Steven Seagal.
All right. So,
Yeah. Now I'm picturing Chris Hansen saying, "Have a seat," and then Steven Seagal sitting down and going,
the final
Interesting.
question that we have here is Chris. He's asking us thoughts on current FASERIP clones or any possibility of the OG coming back. I believe it's the best system for new and old players to learn and can be used for any type of RPG. It is a great system. It's very simple, easy to teach, easy to pick up on. No one should have a problem playing the game, to be honest. After maybe 2 sessions, you should easily grasp it. And it can be
Hell,
used for
within
just
the
about
same
anything.
system.
What?
Within the same session. It's that easy.
Yeah, I mean, but everybody learns differently, so that's why I said at least 2 sessions of playing the game. You should at least have a very good grasp of the game. Unless you're playing every 6 months, then maybe not.
What did we even do last session?
I don't know. We did something. But there are some people that do play like that. They'll get together like once a quarter or something, or once every couple of months, and they'll play a game, and then, for 4 or 5 hours and be done. So the possibility
I'm glad
of
my life is not cursed by only being able to game once every 6 months. That'd be terrible.
So the possibility of the OG coming back is never going to happen.
No.
Sadly, no.
Disney won't ever let that happen. They want to sell stuff, not rehash stuff.
It's not a matter of that. They already have a Marvel game out right now, so they're not worried about bringing back an old system from the 80s.
I mean, it could also be a intellectual property thing too, because the old FASERIP Marvel Heroes game is out there; it's everywhere, so it's kind of hard to really control that license.
It's gray.
So they have to develop their own and license that.
I honestly don't know what they would do. I mean, it's owned by Disney. Obviously, Marvel's owned by Disney, so I don't think Disney really gives a crap about a game from 40 years ago. Though,
Probably not.
I don't think WotC does either, for that matter.
How would WotC get involved in this? Oh, because of TSR?
WotC owns TSR. Yeah, they own everything TSR did. Retro clones, I mean, can't copyright game mechanics, so that's why we have FASERIPopedia and G-Core and what was that other, the 4-color one?
Yeah, so the clones there we have G-Core, which is done by J Libby, which is a offshoot of the 4-color system, which is an offshoot of FASERIP. And then we have the Astonishing Superheroes basic rulebook by Third Kingdom Games, which is another one. It's kind of a clone. It's not exactly the same. The closest ones you're going to get is the FASERIP clone, which is called FASERIP. Looks exactly like this game. And 4-colors, which looks exactly like this game. Maybe more of the basic than the advanced, but they did it. The 4-colors was originally done so people could make supplements, just like Osric was done for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons at the time, so people can make like supplements and things like that and have something to base it off of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they did it. Somebody needed to. Somebody did a lot of. They put a lot of effort into it, and I think it's a good thing. It's kept a good game. It helped it kind of surge back a little bit in popularity with new people.
I just realized in 2023 they came out with Advanced FASERIP by the same people that made the original FASERIP, which is more pages, more powers, more options, revamping of the rules. Still free, and they're charging for the print copies only on drive-through. So, yeah, so you have those 2 editions you can take a look at. 4-color is probably the easiest one to pick up and learn. That's closest to this, probably. I don't know. Really depends on how much time you want to put into this and how much time you want to play a game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's the thoughts on that. Let's head over to our final thing this week to talk about, and that is our villain of the week. Rick, you're up.
Well, I was thinking about various cool villains that are one character or one section of the Marvel Universe centric. And I've always felt like the Leader is a really cool villain, as the kind of opposite to the brutish, massively strong Hulk. Yeah, we have the Leader. He's a mastermind, wants to, world domination kind of guy. He's got some cool powers, other than being, uber genius due to the gamma radiation. He's got telepathy. He's got some mind control. He's kind of an inventive genius. But he's just kind of underutilized when you think about like Masters of Evil and the Sinister Six. He should have been right up there with some of these other characters, although his ego probably, prevented him from wanting to cooperate with others. But he's just a character, a villain I came up with that I've always liked. Going back to my childhood and the really, really cheesy early Marvel cartoons. Definitely think he's underutilized now.
Samuel Stearns was his real name.
Yes.
Can you throw up a picture of him? Because he is so hilarious to look at.
And you
look at this guy.
The incarnations, yeah, he's definitely.
You look at this guy and I see, Mom, I threw up in the hallway again.
Well, it's funny because the newer pictures of him are completely different than what we see there.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, they make him look less like a doofus.
No, actually, he still looks like a doofus.
Oh, he still looks like a doofus, just less.
He has to have a thing to hold his head up.
It reminds me of Marvel of Invincible's Armstrong or something.
Yeah. Well, he was
with a big bulging head.
First appearance was the Tales of Astonishing 62 in 1964 as Leader, and then I guess Thunderbolts Volume 3, Number 4 as the Red Leader.
Oh, I totally forgot about the Red.
Yeah.
Is there a Red Leader?
That's him as the Red Leader, yeah.
Yeah, that was the plot twist. There were all the Red Hulk versions and all that stuff. There was the plot twist. Oh, he's the same guy. He's just red now.
I'm red. He's green. He's more evil.
Let's see, Red. Let's see if they have a little thing for Red Leader or not on here. No. Oh, Red Leader and the Thunderbolts. The Red Hulk gave Stearns a red gamma ray treatment to give him his powers back in order to use him as his intelligence agent. He was later shot and killed by the Punisher.
Yeah. He's really weak, but he's very good at his tactical game. The leader kind of reminds me of the Riddler a little bit. He plays for the long mind game. He's not really that physical type, but he's good. I mean, he's a good strategist, especially when you get someone like the Hulk. I mean, how can you figure out a plan against a walking, talking fucking disaster?
That's a comics I haven't read because I was reading The Punisher was part of the Thunderbolts. I didn't even realize that.
Well, I mean, he was Frankencastle for a little bit, so
stop it.
Possible with, anything's possible with
I don't like talking about that either.
Stop it.
Frankencastle.
Frankencastle does not exist. I don't know what you're talking about, Geoff.
You know you love Frankencastle.
Oh my God, that was just like, ugh.
I've seen you have a poster of him above your bed.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That was probably, when they had that series for Punisher, that was probably the one series that I fucking ripped the comic books up because that was so dumb. Frankencastle. I was like, what are they doing?
You know what? Frankencastle fights from a chair. So
I hate you.
wait. Does he fight from a chair, or does he have a combat wheelchair with guns on it?
it's Frankencastle like paralyzed from the neck down. Don't run away! I'm punishing you.
Exterminate!
No, so yeah, that's the leader. A weirdo.
I'm gonna have to look up Frankencastle
Why?
pics and send to you.
So this will be the last show you'll see Rick and Geoff on. I'll be looking for 2 new co-hosts. If you'd like to be a co-host,
next week's villain's going to be Frankencastle.
no. I will
So,
not.
Geoff, are we starting the Frankencastle podcast now?
No. This is. You know what? Goodbye.